Good morning and welcome to CNC in the AEC. I'm Crystal Pierce with FFKR Architects.
And I'm Cassie Wells with Modern Business Development.
So today is actually our 10th episode.
Woohoo!
So it's like a little
double digits
baby milestone for us.
For sure. For sure.
And I just wanted to say happy National Small Business Week. So a special shout out to this wonderful dynamo over here with Modern Business Development.
Thank you.
And
I
also,
appreciate that.
Let's do a couple other shout outs for some
I have a couple
people out there.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't going to air during Small Business Week, but it's
not, but it still technically is
a bad time to appreciate small businesses.
Yes.
So I want to do a quick shout out to Emergency Restoration, My Vu's company. So if you don't know you should.
You need to know
I mean, absolute gem of a human being. And Jennifer Swanton owns Kaleidoscope Strategic Partners, and another great individual with a very caring heart. So yeah, I just want to give a couple shout outs there.
Yes. Happy Small Business Week. We also love you ladies.
We do. And there's someone else that we love that's in this room.
He is in this room and he does exist.
He does exist.
So we want to give him a special congratulations, right, Cassie?
Yes.
He didn't know that we're going to do this.
And he won, is it Animated Film of the Year for the festival at ASU?
This
Animated Film of the year.
Jake Solomon.
Yay, Jake.
Congrats, Jake.
Good job, Jake. We appreciate you.
We appreciate you so much. He does so much for us, and you guys don't see all the stuff he does behind the scenes. But he makes this podcast what it is, which is pretty fabulous, we think.
We think, yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Jake, and congratulations on all the great, amazing things that you're doing.
We appreciate you, and your work is always awesome. I mean, I watched his films. He's actually helped me with one of mine.
Oh, really?
Star Wars one. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember you filmed it? No, I mean, there's about 5 people that even know about this.
I remember that.
But I made a really quick Star Wars clip to try to get in with a client who's a big Star Wars fan.
That is.
And he helped with the production. She filmed it.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Leia buns were involved. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And no, you can't see it.
I couldn't find that one. I bet.
No, they can't see it.
Yes.
So yeah.
Congrats,
thank you, Jake.
Jake.
We appreciate you.
I think you're amazing.
So what's our main topic today?
You know what? Today we're going to talk about a topic that no one really talks about much, actually. But we've talked a lot about meeting etiquette and given a lot of tips on how to be successful in that area.
Sure.
But I think in order to be successful as well in this industry, it's very important to present yourself in a professional manner.
So crisscross applesauce in my podcast throne is probably not the best way.
You know, I think that makes you feel comfortable, right?
But that's the question.
That is the question. So I want to talk about these things today.
Do you have the right to be comfortable, or is it more important to show up in the most professional way possible?
Right.
That's the question, because that applies to clothing. That applies to how you do your hair, how you hold yourself, how you sit, which, by the way, I wore lower heels today. So when I sat, my feet dangled, and being 5'10", I was not used to that, and I hated it. And then I sat like this, and Jake was like, it's going to be okay. But is it? I don't know.
So the main question is, what is the best attire to wear for the events that we go to in business development?
Great question. Great question.
And I think we don't really talk about it sometimes.
I don't think we talk about it. No, I actually really don't talk about it with people.
And I think I started thinking about it because we had a big event last week, and it was Best of NAIOP. And then they tell you what the attire is on the invitation.
Was it black tie?
Was glam attire or something like that. But then you get with all the girls and you're sending texts like, what are you wearing? What are you wearing?
How many of those did you get 3 days leading up to the event?
But it's still, even though it tells you what to wear, it's still, you show up and there's a variety of outfits.
Well, of course, there always is.
Yeah.
And when people ask me, what should I wear? I say, listen, people show up to this event from work in their work clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I'm going to go fancier than work clothes. But you get such a wide variety of ranges of outfits. And I think one big thing is comfort. But I mean that in a way you don't want to have to be constantly adjusting if you're afraid your bra is going to show, if you're afraid, the dress is uncomfortable or a button is too whatever. I wouldn't wear that outfit if you're going to be fidgeting. But I also don't want you to be too comfortable that you're in yoga pants because that's not appropriate, right? So what's the balance? And if we're talking specifically about an event like that.
So if we're talking formal events
are tough because a lot of women's wear shows more than we're used to showing in the industry.
Exactly. And still, you want to go to formal events. You want to look beautiful, but you still want to represent yourself in a professional manner.
Right.
Right.
Right. So that's really difficult to do with so many formal gowns that perhaps go low.
Right. Yes.
Or perhaps are shorter, right? Or show more shoulder than you're used to, right? All of that happens when you get into formal wear. So I guess my question to you is, Crystal, what is acceptable at a fancy industry event as far as what's showing?
I mean, my suggestion is always you can go for a nice cocktail dress. But I think you need to be aware of, like you said, what is showing. But I think it's okay to wear thinner straps.
I agree.
That is kind of where I go. Like,
you
can wear thin strap dress and some of your back can be showing.
I think
I think you can stay a little above the knee. That's what I think.
I think mine was probably not much above my knee.
Yeah, but I mean,
could be. But I would say I did the booty
you just
check.
avoid, if you think that you would wear that dress up in the club in Vegas or something, then probably you wouldn't wear it to more of a formal work party.
I probably would also wear that dress to Vegas, but I like the test. Test. What's my test, you ask? Great question. So glad you asked.
What's your test?
My test is, can you pick up something in that and not be embarrassed?
Oh, yeah.
Because then you got to squat down, booty coming out, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's the test. Or if you sit down, can you sit comfortably where, your legs are crossed and you don't feel like it's too short when you sit?
Yeah.
Right? Because you don't want to be in a dress that's so short where your butt's touching the chair.
Oh,
right?
definitely.
A little too short.
Oh, definitely.
A little way too short. And you also want to make sure that while you're there and you're networking with people, that you're not giving off the wrong impression.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I think oftentimes
you still want people to look at your eyes while you're networking.
Up
and
here,
I think
fellas.
you're good.
Yes, up here, fellas.
Then you made the right wardrobe choice.
No, but quite frankly, even women, because if it's distracting to women, it's going to certainly be distracting to men. And so, yeah, that's something that I like to
think
look for.
Still, if the dress is tasteful and classy, I think then you made the right choice.
And I also think if you're confident in it, right?
Yeah.
Because that is one thing that clothing does for me, is when I feel well dressed, I do better work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm better focused. I feel more professional. Even in the Zoom call days, the Teams call days where you didn't go get dressed up and have meetings, you were doing them all from your house. I still like to put on, believe it or not, heels because it made me feel more professional.
Yeah.
It was almost like an inner validation.
Right.
I wish I had studies on that, but I don't. Just my own studies. I'm a very, very focused group, right, of me. That's how I felt. And I still feel that way. And I feel that way in environments that are not just fancy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I do want to talk about everyday workwear, everyday meetings, right?
Yes.
I think if you're meeting someone for the very first time, do it up a little. Be fancier.
Yeah.
Set a precedence, right? Because the last thing you want is to, in my opinion, I would always rather show up overdressed than underdressed.
Right.
That's me.
And as far as everyday workwear, I know for everyone that looks different for what they wear every day, like into the office or maybe into a meeting. So
there's different dress codes.
Exactly. I do think it's funny that today you and I showed up and we're matching. That I do think that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it is. Color coordinated.
But yes, I mean, normally, most of the time, meetings when I've met people, it's business casual is what they're wearing.
I think that's understood.
Yes.
If someone shows up in jeans, I've never thought this is bizarre that they're in jeans. Never in my life. But also the industry we're in, it's not unusual to be working with people that are on the job site that day. So like I'm always very understanding.
There's many days where I wear jeans, but usually if I'm wearing jeans, I'm wearing either a nice shirt or I'm wearing a shirt with like a jacket and, boots or heels or something with it.
Yeah.
So I don't think jeans is odd. But I mean, I've shown up to meetings and people have been in workout gear.
Okay. And I think there's appropriate time for that.
Okay. When is the appropriate time for that?
I feel like we differ on that. I'm cool with that. I feel like if you have a closeness with someone and you're going to do business with them no matter what, you can literally wear whatever you want.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
If you and I were meeting and you were my only meeting of the day, I'm messy bun, no makeup, flip-flops. What's up, girl? But are you laughing at that? What's up, girl?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love to make Jake smile.
That is definitely different.
No, it is. It is. That's how I feel.
But I mean, I'm talking, I've had it happen where don't know the person.
And they've showed up in workout clothes?
Yes. Or like sweatpants.
Okay.
Where
I'll give you an example.
Going on.
I have a meeting with a principal of a firm coming up, and it is 2 hours before a golf. And I specifically said, I can meet you for coffee at this time. However, it's right before I go golfing.
I tell people,
would you mind if I showed up in my golf gear?
Yes.
Absolutely no problem was the response.
Yeah.
Had I done it without preparing this individual, he might think differently. That's my opinion. Well, I like to give people a warning.
I did have a meeting like that a few weeks ago.
You did?
And I was golfing right after, and I showed up in my golf gear, but I told him as I was getting there.
Like, hey, I'm golfing. This isn't my everyday.
But
see, I did.
Said, hey, I look like this because I'm golfing.
Well, and see, this is someone that I want to impress. And normally I would get very dressed up for this coffee, but I don't feel like I have the opportunity. I really don't want to change in my car. You know what I mean? So I'm like, this should be okay. Let me check. And if heaven forbid he said no, I would have changed in my car after then at the golf course or in the locker room or something. Right. So I think as long as you address it, I've had people before, hey, I can meet you a coffee at 2:00 at this place on my way to the gym. Well, I'm pretty sure I know what they're going to be wearing. Gym clothes, right? So for me, if you set the precedence of I'm meeting with you, this is what else is going on that day, then you can kind of wear whatever you want as long as it's appropriate, right? You don't want to be in, a tube top because, oh, yeah, I'm on my way to the beach. No, okay, whoa, listen. Yeah. It's a little too much, right? So, and especially as we approach warmer days here in Phoenix, it's, I still like to be covered, if that makes sense.
Yes. And when I did show up in my golf gear, it was someone I had already met with. If it was someone new, I definitely would have, like you were doing.
Well, it's something I think about.
And I mean, people might think, oh, it's silly. Maybe they're talking about what to wear, what not to wear, wardrobe. But it's really not, because first impressions are lasting. And when people see you, even though you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover,
you do.
You do. So if you see someone for the first time and you've never met them and you're meeting them and you want to do business with them and they're in pajamas, that's going to be a little concerning.
Well, I mean, you want to impress people, right? And I feel like this is an opportunity to put your best foot forward. I feel like people are more susceptible to hearing what you have to say if you are doing so in a professional manner, whatever that means. So like, don't show up to your coffee like this.
Exactly. But also, I know if anyone that I meet with, if they even compliment me on what I am wearing, then it makes me feel good. And I know I did a good job, or great.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because I think there are ways to compliment people and ways not to compliment people.
Yes.
I think, and unfortunately, it's different, in my opinion, with women than men. I do.
Absolutely.
I think you can tell. I think women can tell men and women, you look great.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa. Look great. That to me means you're polished. Right?
Right.
One girl to another. I mean, how many times are we like, girl, you look so cute,
Mm-hmm.
you know? If a man says to a woman, you know, that fits your body really well.
Can't say that.
But people do.
Well, that'll be another podcast, maybe.
Gosh.
What to say,
we
what
could
not
dive
to
into
say.
No, our podcasts don't last that long.
I
because
know.
I could tell you some crazy things.
Yeah.
But try not to compliment on people's bodies as much as you compliment, you know, their
And I think it's okay to say, I love that dress, or
you look great.
Great color on you.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, like, that looks great. If they walk in looking like $1 million, yo,
and I'm
you're looking like $1 million.
Complimenting a man or a woman. Like,
yeah, just don't
might
talk
see
about
a guy's
body.
jacket, and I'm like, I love that jacket.
Don't talk about the body.
Yeah, no,
you can't. But people do. You know. So that is one little side note I want to talk about.
Yeah,
but
I think as far as every day you were saying those meetings, just business casual.
What do you wear for golf? Because you're more of a golfer than I am. I am a bag lady, if you will, bad at golf lady. But does it depend on the course? Does it depend on the people that you golf with? I need to know all of these things, because I haven't.
Courses have, I think, strict dress codes where you have to wear like the collared shirts, and guys, I'm not as familiar with necessarily what they have to wear. And I feel like
they always have to wear polos?
I think with gentlemen, it's easier for them.
It's always polos.
They just wear, either like shorts and polos.
Or
that's
pants
usually
and
what
polos.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a belt.
For me with golf, I mean, it's usually pretty simple. It's just, I'm just a golf skirt and then a polo shirt.
I feel like I see people in yoga pants on the golf course. Is that only like more casual courses?
I'm not usually a yoga pants girl. I just think that's too casual.
Can I wear these pants to golf? Because they look golfy. Like the pattern is golfy. I think you could,
but for me, that's uncomfortable for me.
Well, I mean, during the summer, yeah.
But something that's kind of tricky is like, I don't know. I bought like a really cute golf dress. But I wouldn't wear it to like a networking golf event. I would only wear it to golf with like my girls, my Chicks with Sticks crew.
Is it too
on
short?
Saturday? No, it's long. It's just kind of open in the back. So for me, that's just something I would wear golfing with my girls.
Because it would show
golfing
your bra?
with Alex. No, it's just kind of open
Just
in
too
the
much.
back.
Just too much.
So to me, that's not as professional.
Okay.
And appropriate.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't have any golf dresses.
I think you always need to try to be more professional. But if I had a golf dress, I would look for something more.
This is leading my thoughts. But before I dive into an event I want to talk about, I always worry about my golf skirt being too short.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, that's unless it's got the shorts under, like you need the shorts under with the pocket, like those I can get down with.
But all golf skirts have the shorts under.
All of them?
They should. Yes.
Oh. Well, then it shouldn't be a problem, or is it too short?
Like, you know how when you're this is really just explaining too much about clothes on our podcast here, but
we've talked
when
about
you drive in the golf cart, like the wind will blow and then sometimes your skirt will blow up.
Oh.
But then you still have the shorts under.
So
but I always will tuck the sides of my golf skirt in the shorts a lot. So then,
see, if I were cross,
and then one time I was doing that, and someone I was golfing with was like, "Your skirt is caught in your shorts,"
and you're like, "No,
and I'm
like,
no, it's on purpose."
Yeah, so it doesn't blow.
So it's not blowing up.
Do you remember when we were at that
golf
golf tournament
for you girls out there
at Talking Stick, and it was storming, and we were going fast in the golf cart, and my fake lashes were like, actually, one was down and one was up. I was like, ah. That's what that reminded me of. So it does get windy.
So yeah, so I'm just careful about that. I just like tuck my skirt in.
That's a really good point. So the event I want to talk about as far as clothing is concerned, what are you supposed to wear to the open?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hit you with that bombshell. You were not prepared.
No, I just why would you
do that to me?
Oh man.
I don't know, I'm mean.
Okay, because I just have to throw that out there. What is being worn to the open is just not right.
No, but it's not a professional event. It's
not a professional event.
Professionals attend to have a good time.
But in our
to do some
industry,
business.
It is.
Well, it depends why you're going.
Our industry, we go, it's supposed to be professional.
But think about this. Hear me out. Let's say I was invited to the open with my father and mother-in-law. That is a personal invite, no business there. Yeah. I'm going to show up and see business people. Can I wear whatever I want?
Yeah. I mean, you can. I mean, really, yes, you can wear whatever you want to the open. But if you're going with
like hosting or people, as a guest,
I just don't understand. Like, even there's so much walking around there. Why are you wearing high heels and like rompers? And I don't understand it. When I go to the open,
I could do a romper at the open.
I wear sneakers.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's for comfort.
Yeah,
yeah. If someone's comfortable, if they could wear heels all day, I mean.
Do you know how many people you run into the open? You see so many people there.
I
think
agree.
You should look professional still.
Yeah,
even if you're drinking a lot. Which but let's admit it, most of us are. But drinking a lot there, still, at least I'm gonna look.
But what do you wear? I have people ask me
like
all
wardrobe
the time.
Wise.
What do you wear? And
even if I don't remember seeing you.
People wear dresses. People wear shorts and blouses. Yeah. I always recommend tennis shoes. Mm-hmm. Remember, the morning's going to be chilly and the afternoon's going to be really hot. So it's kind of really tough to plan what to wear. Unless you're a dude.
Same.
Wear shorts and
during that time, there's so many texts. What are you wearing? What are you wearing?
Yes.
That's the reason we're talking about this today is because all the texts. What are you wearing?
And I don't know.
And can we ask like the maybe two gentlemen that are listening or watching? I mean, do you struggle with like what to wear to events? Okay, because we went to the Make-A-Wish ball a few weeks back.
And you looked great.
Thank you.
Loved your outfit.
Thank you. And I was kind of iffy on that. But the attire was black tie. So black tie to me is, I mean, it's fancy.
Yeah.
But yet there were men that showed up and they're wearing sneakers.
Okay, sneakers I'm shocked by, but black tie, if I were invited, if Paul and I as a couple were invited to a black tie event, I would not expect him to have to go buy a tux.
No. And you didn't have to.
Or
you
rent
could
a
still
tux.
wear like a suit.
Yeah, which is what he did for Best of NAOP.
Yeah.
And I think if you're a guy, get a suit because you could wear it to any of those events. It covers a good chunk of events.
I do feel like guys, it's just like easier for them or something. Like, oh, I can wear a suit, but I can wear sneakers. Or I'm just going to wear what I wore to work and I'm going to this event.
In my experience, Paul, not to call him out, but he'll decide what he's wearing maybe a half an hour before we leave.
Yeah.
So I don't think they experience the stress that we do.
Yeah. I mean, but Alex also has everything already in his closet.
There's a wide range of guy dressers, if you will.
Yeah.
Some always looking sharp, some casual. Like, I think if it's your thing, you probably plan it out a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. If it's not your thing, like Paul, 30 minutes.
I am trying to learn how to like dress better, like put better things together. And Alex actually introduced me to like a clothier. Is that what they're called?
I don't know.
Shout out to her name is Lauren Turner.
That's fancy. That's pinky up fancy.
And I went with him when he was like ordering a jacket. It's like amazing the stuff they can do, which eventually when I have like win the lottery, I'll go there and buy a whole bunch of stuff. But it's like
that brought up a great point.
They like dress you and fit you and
that's amazing.
It's awesome.
Where do you get your work clothes?
Good question.
I'll tell you where I get mine.
Where do you get yours?
I will get mine at White House Black Market if someone gives me a gift card. I will go to Express if someone gets me a gift card. Banana Republic gift card. I should probably shop there more. I know, at the nice places. I go online.
It's so expensive.
I go online and there are times where people are like, oh my gosh, I love your suit. And in my head, I'm like, $20.
That's amazing because I feel like you have
these were probably $10 on that site. This was probably like $4 on that site.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's very difficult to shop because I'm like, barely 4'11". Yeah. I can't find stuff to fit. So White House Black Market, the outlet one in Glendale, because they actually make, like extra smalls.
I remember shopping at Ross a lot because they have Calvin Klein.
Okay.
And so I would always get last season's Calvin Klein dresses for like $30 and then I still have some that I bought in 2012.
Sometimes I can find stuff at Kohl's, but for you other shorties out there, like if you know places, I know I've talked to some of you, like Heather Rio, her and I talk about things. Little Jerry Lynn,
Little Jerry Lynn.
Yeah, if you guys have
say it like that.
Yeah. Well,
awesome person, but yes, you're all tiny.
It's hard to find stuff.
But then you have me, who's a giant, literally been called a giant by a client.
Ever.
He was tiny. He was a tiny little man. And he looked at me and goes, wow, you're a giant. I'm like,
yeah,
thank you. Where's your projector?
And then Kristen, we're all like just shorties.
Okay, but on the same token, like these pants would probably go to your ankles. And unfortunately, they go to my shins. And so all the pants I wear, I just pretend it's on purpose. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because otherwise it's not if it's that much above, then it looks weird. So I just like hike up. So it's like, these are supposed to be at my shin and they're not. They're not. When I put on these pants this morning, like pulled them up, they stopped at like mid thigh. And I thought, this is the height of the person these pants are supposed to fit. And then I kept pulling them up and then that's where they are. So I kind of get it, but on a different side. Well,
anybody that's just like listening right now, you probably should just like be watching our podcast.
Oh yeah, because they can't see how funny
you can't see.
I look in my. Now you're gonna look at all my. Every time you guys see me, now you're gonna look at my pants and be like, "She's just a giant." Yeah.
But I think really though, planning our wardrobe each day is. I mean, it's important. I mean, even when we go to events, like what we're wearing. I always think about it.
Jennifer Villalobos, previous guest, shout out, Sharp Construction. She gave me a tip and trick that helped her in the mornings, sleep better at night, I think was our discussion. I could be wrong. She'll correct me, I hope. But she lays out her outfit for the next day the night before. And it's just like, he does?
Yes.
You know who does that? Rain, my daughter.
Oh my gosh.
Of course she does.
So cute.
Rain. She does that. She's like, this is what I'm going to wear.
Yeah.
Especially on dollar dress days.
That's really smart, though. I mean, sometimes I try to think about it, but if I did that, maybe I wouldn't be so running late in the morning.
I make the decision of what I wear based on who I'm meeting. Truly. What I'm doing that day.
I don't even I don't know.
Oh, I do
I
that
do think
all
about events.
the time.
I think about what I'm wearing based on my events that day.
Yeah.
What
I do it based on who I'm meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just do. That's always been something I've done.
Yeah.
So.
And then I think, oh my gosh, I have another event and I have to have a new outfit because I've already worn all those dresses.
I also think about who has seen me in this outfit.
Yes. I have a million pictures in that dress. I can't wear that.
I actually think about that with the podcast too. I'm like, have I worn this on the podcast? And I'm like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
If I wore it on the podcast, it was like episode 1.
If you see me in that outfit, sorry.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think about that. Those are the things.
But then I'm like, how many people are really watching?
12 is the answer. We have 12 subscribers on YouTube. You told me.
I think so.
12.
Yeah.
Jake's probably one of them. Do you follow
Alex?
You
exactly.
Follow him.
Alex is like, I'm one of your, I think, 12.
A third of our followers, we know it's Jake, you, me, Alex.
Yay, us.
Yeah. Paul doesn't watch it unless I'm like,
thanks.
He's like, what do you want for Valentine's Day? I'm like, listen to my podcast.
Oh, come on, Paul Wells.
He did well for Valentine's Day, but that was my answer.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to hear me speak any more than he has to. You know what I mean?
I want to hear you talk all day.
You try living with me. Crazy person.
I would love it.
A crazy person.
No, you're not.
So yeah, that's what
to wear, what not to wear, spiel, I guess.
But,
did we answer what you shouldn't wear?
I mean, no one asked.
And
our answer was clear as mud.
I know.
But
yeah,
at least we're sparking thoughts, okay?
Yeah.
That's the idea.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
And basically, if you have opinions, we want to hear them.
What our thoughts are is just be professional, be classy.
And thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I also want to say it's an opportunity to be yourself.
Yeah.
Your clothing is an opportunity to be yourself. And if you can mix being yourself, being professional,
right,
dressing in a manner that elevates your confidence, do that.
Yes.
Live in that magic space.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have Italian for us today?
You know what? I didn't even really think about it.
You dropped some French earlier. Does that count?
What?
Clothier.
Oh, yeah. I know scarpe is shoes. I'm learning some clothing right now in Italian.
La ropa.
Yeah.
What is it in Italian?
I don't know. I know jewelry is.
Oh my gosh.
There are some
Do you need the
long
Heimlich?
ones. I didn't have one.
Shoes
for
in
today.
Spanish. Los zapatos.
Okay.
Zapatos. Yeah. It's with a Z, but I don't know what accent I put on it. I'm the worst.
My brain's not working today.
Ciao.
Ciao.